China's Chang'e 6 lunar probe's on its way back to Earth after collecting rock and soil samples from the far side of the moon. China's National Space Agency confirmed the uncrewed spacecraft lifted off from the moon's surface early on Tuesday and entered lunar orbit.
China's Chang'e 6 mission stunned the world with a groundbreaking revelation. An ancient asteroid collision over 4 billion years ago not only carved the colossal South Pole Aitken Basin, the largest known impact crater in our solar system, but also fundamentally reshaped the moon's far-side mantle deep beneath its surface. This discovery, derived from the first-ever analysis of lunar samples returned from the moon's far side, marked a historic milestone, challenging decades-old assumptions about lunar evolution and intensifying the global space race. NASA, watching from Earth, grappled with growing unease. Before we dive in, please like this video and subscribe for more updates on space exploration. The global scientific community was left in awe when 4 landmark papers published in Nature revealed that the mega-impact stripped away key chemical elements from the moon's interior. Previous models suggested the moon's near and far sides differed due to variations in volcanic resurfacing and crustal thickness. However, the new findings indicate the far side's mantle once contained a richer array of heat-producing elements, such as thorium, potassium, and uranium, now largely absent. This points to a far more dynamic and turbulent lunar history than previously imagined. Just weeks earlier, China's 500-meter aperture spherical telescope, FAST, turned its gaze toward the lunar South Pole, detecting fragmented ice deposits buried deep in permanently shadowed craters. By combining FAST's radar data with ground-penetrating signals from China's Yiwu Incoherent Scatter Radar, SCASR, researchers created the highest-resolution subsurface maps to date. These maps revealed vast reservoirs of water ice beneath meters of regolith, a resource critical for future human outposts and rocket fuel production. Amid these scientific triumphs, NASA faced mounting pressure. The U.S. agency had already delayed its Artemis II crewed mission to April 2026 and its Artemis III lunar landing to mid-2027 due to technical issues with the Orion heat shield. China's rapid lunar advancements sharpened the stakes. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson warned Congress that failing to secure a foothold at the lunar South Pole could cede critical territory, along with access to water ice and helium-3 deposits, to China's ambitious lunar program. Adding to NASA's challenges, the Wolf Amendment, a U.S. law barring NASA from funding direct cooperation with Chinese government entities, prevented American scientists from accessing Chang'e 6 samples. While China offered to share the 1,935.3 grams of farside material with international researchers, U.S. scientists were forced to seek alternative funding, sidelining them from timely analyses and raising concerns that lunar science would advance on China's terms. In Beijing, state media celebrated the Chang'e 6 mission as a triumph of China's methodical, state-backed approach to space exploration. The samples, drilled from pristine mantle fragments in the South Pole Aitken Basin, offered a window into primordial processes untouched by Apollo or Luna missions. The findings suggest that the far side's mantle once held higher concentrations of heat-producing elements, necessitating a complete rethinking of the moon's thermal history and volcanic activity. These elements also hint at untapped geothermal gradients, opening possibilities for future lunar power generation. As Chinese scientists raced to publish their findings, NASA held emergency briefings to reassess its lunar strategy. Internal memos revealed plans to deploy lunar polar probes to verify China's radar detections and map ice distribution using advanced instruments. One proposal involved equipping an Artemis lander with ground-penetrating radar to peer tens of meters below the surface, independently confirming water ice reservoirs believed to extend beyond shadowed craters. Beyond the scientific discoveries, NASA faced a reputational challenge. For decades, the U.S. led lunar science through Apollo samples. Now, China's headline-making revelations threaten to eclipse that legacy, underscoring the strength of China's state-sponsored model. The competition extended to helium-3, a rare isotope estimated to exist in 1 to 3 million metric tons on the moon's surface. Prized for its potential to power fusion reactors, helium-3 has fueled strategic planning, with NASA exploring commercial partnerships to develop regolith processing units despite budget constraints. To counter China's momentum, NASA tasked the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, with high-resolution nighttime thermal mappings to infer subsurface ice content. The agency also considered deploying nanosatellites in polar orbits to relay data from farside landers, a capability China pioneered with its Keiqiao satellite during the Chang'e 4 mission. However, budgetary scrutiny on Capitol Hill complicated these efforts. Congressional hearings questioned NASA's agility, prompting the agency to unveil a revised lunar roadmap emphasizing enhanced sample return missions, polar resource prospecting, and international partnerships, though legal restrictions excluded direct collaboration with China. Meanwhile, China announced its Chang'e 7 mission, set for 2026, which will deploy a lander, rover, and a first-of-its-kind hopping robot to explore sunlit peaks and shadowed craters for water ice. This mission promises comprehensive 3D mapping of ice distribution, critical for lunar base site selection and resource extraction. NASA responded by prioritizing robotic precursor missions to test in situ resource utilization technologies, such as oxygen extraction from regolith via molten regolith electrolysis. These missions, part of the Commercial Lunar Payload Services (CLPS) program, signal a shift toward public-private partnerships. Yet, China's end-to-end lunar exploration blueprint, spanning relay satellites, orbiters, landers, rovers, and sample return missions, has outpaced NASA's approach. The Chang'e 6 findings, particularly the mantle alteration insights, highlighted China's capacity to execute complex missions on an accelerated timeline. Within NASA, concerns grew that failing to act could relegate U.S. scientists to secondary roles in lunar science for years. A bold proposal emerged: an Artemis 4 sample return mission using commercial landers and advanced instruments to reclaim scientific leadership. The global space community debated the shifting dynamics. Some urged NASA to seek waivers to the Wolf Amendment for joint sample analysis, arguing that collaboration could maximize scientific returns. Others cautioned that China's opaque funding and military ties warranted a competitive stance to protect U.S. technological advantages. In July 2025, Chinese scientists revealed preliminary geochemical profiles of the farside samples, showing low water content but high levels of incompatible trace elements in the regolith, suggesting localized volcanic intrusions post-impact. These findings promise to reshape theories about lunar differentiation and early solar system history. NASA accelerated its response, advancing its Resource Prospector rover with a neutron spectrometer to confirm hydrogen signatures in shadowed regions. The agency also lobbied Congress to amend the Wolf Amendment, arguing that sample exchange with China would enhance collaboration without compromising security. The Chang'e 6 discoveries have sparked a technological renaissance. Advances in autonomous robotics, driven by neural networks and edge computing, are enabling rovers to navigate challenging terrains and coordinate with drones for real-time 3D mapping. Material scientists are developing self-healing polymers and piezoelectric coatings to withstand the moon's harsh conditions, with applications for Earth's extreme environments. Geopolitically, the moon has become a stage for cooperation and competition. Emerging space nations are forging partnerships for lunar data access, while economists envision a lunar economy driven by water harvesting and propellant production. Legal debates over resource rights and conservation protocols are intensifying, balancing innovation with stewardship. Culturally, the moon inspires art, literature, and music, rekindling humanity's connection to our celestial neighbor. Educational programs are training the next generation in lunar science, while citizen science platforms engage enthusiasts worldwide. Lunar tourism, with haptic suits and panoramic habitats, is nearing reality, promising a new era of extraterrestrial exploration. The moon, once a distant dream, now pulses with possibility. China's breakthroughs have not only challenged NASA but reignited humanity's urge to explore, innovate, and build a future among the stars. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. How will China's lunar discoveries shape the future of space exploration? We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.